Welcome to BlackUSA.news morning show. I'm your host, William Honolulu Jr. Join us as we explore the news and opinions that impact our community. We break down how the major stories have a very personal, local, and racial impact. No topic is off limits, but even if the conversation gets rough, we're always going to keep it real. Greetings and salutations, all of my people out there in internet land. I am William Honolulu Jr., and I have the honor and the privilege of serving as the host of the Black USA News Morning Show. Welcome to Friday, February 4th, 2022. Wow, we are way in to this month. And not even by the date, but like we are into Black History Month in such a way that the importance, it just weighs on me, especially this year with as many assaults on democracy and just really active opportunities for people to try to take advantage of the system and exclude us even further from voting. I mean, think about it. That is the fundamental just right in a democracy, is the right to vote. And there's a lot of people out there who kind of want to take that away. Not even kind of. They believe that unless it's them, particularly if it's Black people, we're not qualified to lead. We'll make a mess of it on our own. I don't know if I shared the story with you all about, I think it's the Netherlands. One of the African countries hit them up and was like, hey, all that rare and ancient treasure that you took out of our country and you have it in your museums and things like that, we want that back. Do you know what the response was? The response was, hey, we would love to give it back, but you all clearly can't keep it secure. And so we're worried about it falling into the wrong hands or getting taken or getting destroyed. So we're just going to hold it for you for safekeeping. Like the unmitigated gall, temerity, and hubris of that position. So that's crazy. But reminds me of why we have to celebrate Black history. Black history, a lot of times when I was younger, I didn't understand. I was like, okay, I mean, these kind of things and these people were here the day before, January 31st. What's the big deal about it? It's like, we're Black. It doesn't change anything. But what I came to realize was that celebrating Black and being Black are not the same thing. It is important that other people understand our contributions and understand how we fit into the American fabric, because they don't understand it now. We need to make sure that they understand how African Americans have contributed to the country in the context of some of the horrors that we faced. And yeah, that is a really big deal. And by us celebrating it during Black History Month, we get that information out into the street. We make sure that people understand how important it is that Black people's contributions be honored, because if they don't, we'll still be those people. They won't see us as human. And it's a damn shame that we got to start off with trying to explain humanity. That, hey, by the way, we are humans and should be treated as such. But unfortunately, that's the lot that we have drawn in this place we call America. And so we're going to keep doing it all the time. So celebrating Black History Month, I am really, really happy that I get to share this time with you. It is amazing. By the way, speaking of Black History Month, today, February 4th, 2022, celebrates Rosa Parks Day in California and Missouri. It's celebrated and that because today is her birthday. Rosa Parks famously refused to give up her seat on the back of the bus, which sparked the Montgomery boycott, and when ended, which actually began the process of ending racial segregation on the bus line. So that's huge. It's a really big deal. So we're happy to celebrate along with California and Missouri. Now, it also should be mentioned that Ohio and Oregon, they celebrate Rosa Parks Day, but they celebrated on the day she was arrested, December 1st. But yeah, let's all celebrate Rosa Parks, because if it wasn't for her, there may not be any us right now. So that's always a good thing to do. Want to say a big shout out to the super producer, Kyle Crazy Horse Morgan. He is always there to hold the show down and ensure that we have what we need to be successful. So thank you very much to him. But you know what time it is? It is time for us to talk to the people, talk about the people who, you know what? I think what's happening here? What is happening here? Hey, guess what? The slide set did not load properly. Isn't that crazy? And you know, you gotta hate that. It's one of those things like, oh, wait a minute, oh, let's do something, and then technology does not work. Technology is good when it's great when it's good. Like, don't even get it twisted. Hell, if it wasn't for technology, we wouldn't even have this show right now. But when it doesn't work, it is a pain, a royal pain. And then you got to riff for a little while to try to get it into position. So what I'm going to do is make sure I tell you all about what's happening next week. Next week is going to be an exciting week. You know what? I should stop saying that, because every week on the show is an exciting week. Every week I bring you all some amazing people. And next week is no different. We're going to do Working While Black Part 2, and we're going to be talking to Shannon Battle, the ICANN lady. If you all didn't check out the Part 1 series, that was a solo thing by me, and I just talked about remembering my evolution from thinking myself the magical Negro to becoming more conscious about what it meant to be Black, and especially what it meant to be Black in the workplace. So I'm looking forward to that conversation. It is going to be awesome because, y'all know Shannon. Shannon is amazing, and so the whole thing is going to be great. On Tuesday, we have Roya Hanna, candidate for state's attorney in Baltimore City. She's going to come on and talk about her platform, especially when it comes to community engagement, policy enhancement, and police accountability. On Wednesday, the 9th, we have Dr. Helen Holton coming on. What did I tell you? We get real people coming through and really helping us understand what's going on. Like Dr. Helen Holton on Wednesday, she's going to be talking about the Black agenda and the importance of the upcoming elections. Redistricting is happening, and actually, the upcoming elections will be significantly impacted by redistricting for many of us. And if you don't understand that, we'll be talking to Dr. Holton about that as well, and how important it is for us to be actively engaged in the political process. On Thursday, we talked to Nicole Murphy on I Barter Black. It is an amazing idea about making sure that as Black businesses and Black people, we have the resources we need in exchange. I mean, that type of engagement dates back to our ancestors. And so it's really, really great to see her pulling it back off or bringing it back and enhancing it with technology. It is another great opportunity, another great way for us to support Black businesses without having to get up off of too much cash. Let's see. Oh, and we will finish the week out with Sharon Devenish Lead about Black business owners learning to navigate public relations and media relations. There's a lot of stuff coming up, and there are incredible opportunities for Black businesses to do their thing and to make sure that they have the resources where they can be successful. It looks like the slide set is trash today. It is not behaving the way that I wish it to. I'm not a really big fan of I'm not a really big fan of anything not doing what I tell them to. But that being the case, we're still going to make it happen, right? We are still going to make it happen. Had to sing to y'all a little bit. That's what happens. See what happens when we don't have resources. We got to sing. Actually, what we're going to do right now is we're going to jump and let you all hear about what's happening, opportunity for you to step up your business game.
Hi,
My name is William Honolulu Jr., and I have the privilege of being the host of the BlackUSA.news morning show. BlackUSA.news has partnered with the DM Firm, The Grinding Gang, Be More News, and DM Global Marketing and PR Firm to bring you the Perfect Pitch Planning Program. The program will help business owners develop the skills to compete and present a detailed plan to open or grow a business. During the program, you will learn how to create an entrepreneurial mindset, how to clarify and communicate who your target customer is, how to design your business model to meet your customer's need, and how to create realistic financial projections. The first session will be held on February 19th from 12 noon to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you register by February 10th, you will receive an additional $50 discount. If you use the promo code BlackUSA.news, you will receive an extra 10% off. If you are ready to take your business to the next level and save some money, act now before prices rise. This program is sponsored by the book I Am Black Wall Street by Donnie Glover, with a foreword by the Honorable William Billy Murphy Jr. Yo, take this opportunity to get your life right, to get all your stuff together. You have a wonderful chance just to understand how to tell your business story better, because a lot of times telling your business story is what makes the difference between getting some money and getting a customer and not. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the people who make this possible. STEM City USA, they have Dr. Tyrone Taborn and his crew. They do a wonderful job of making sure that Black people have access to technology and the metaverse. We are streaming proudly on STEM City USA's Black USA News. So go ahead to STEM City USA and check them out. The warrior lawyer, J. Wendell Gordon, he does an amazing job of ensuring that people are taken care of when it comes to the criminal justice system. It is amazing the amount that this man goes in, how he fights for his clients. They don't call him the warrior lawyer because it's a cool nickname. They call him the warrior lawyer because he really does fight for his people. You all know how I feel about Darker Than Blue. I tell you all the time, I am looking forward every time I get an opportunity to eat there. And today, this weekend will be no different. You all put me on to the Cowboy Prime Rib, and guess who's going to get that this weekend? You know what? I might even share a little bit of that with my mama. Speaking of my mama, y'all know Mama Honolulu. She is one of the best selectors of delicious and juicy fruits, but she has a rival when it comes to edible arrangements. So I have never seen a commercial organization that can consistently pick fruit and then cover it with some amazing toppings. You all know what I love. I love the pineapple covered with the white chocolate. Oh, you know what? I might not need to make that noise on the internet. That probably didn't sound good coming over the speakers. Murphy, Falcone, and Murphy, they do an amazing job of protecting people's rights. If you find that you are in a situation where you need legal representation, somebody has wronged you, or you need to sue somebody, or you want to change some of the laws in your community, then you need to holler at Murphy, Falcone, and Murphy. Judge Murphy has been practicing law and saving the Black community since my entire adult life. I used to say before I was born, but I found out he didn't like that so much because, I'm almost 50 and he didn't want people to know that. But you're 70. But it's okay. It's okay. I ain't gonna put this man's business out in the street. And you all know my company, The Grinding Gang. We want to help you take your business to the next level. We have free membership, which means you get access to our knowledge library. You get opportunities to go to some of our free events and access to business documents that can really serve as templates to help you get your thing up and making sure that you're in the best position possible so that you can be successful. If you all didn't catch Donnie's show this morning, make sure you do. He had Jamira Cade on there talking about STEM and how important it is that how important parental support is to encouraging students to really get active and involved in STEM. So that was awesome. And if you didn't catch it, you need to make sure you go back and check it out. Shout out to Dr. Yolandra Hancock at in Washington, D.C. at I think it's a Children's Hospital. She is an amazing physician. I met her like 20 years ago or so. And she is committed to working with children and does an amazing job. And I want to just shout her out because yesterday was Women's Physicians Day, and I did not give that honor and shout out yesterday, so that is happening today. And another shout out to Kelly and Matt Pressberry of the Black Fathers Foundation. They are going to be guests of ours very, very soon. I am looking forward to it. As we are talking about guests, and sorry, you know what happens when you start pressing too many buttons and then you're like, wait, what happened? Where am I? Where am I? I took myself out of the feed. That's crazy. But as we're talking about Black Fathers Foundation, and as we're talking about some of the issues that disproportionately affect Black people, we have to talk about homelessness. Homelessness is a significant impediment to Black people's success and things like that. We are going to talk today to Brittany Phillips about homelessness and how that works. But let's take a look at some of the realities of homelessness. If you look at homelessness by race, I know we talk a lot about African Americans here and the impact of things because it's BlackUSA.news, so like we should. But I want to make sure that we understand that we need to be fighting homelessness, period, not just homelessness for Black people, because as you can see, Pacific Islanders and Native Hawaiians and American Indian, Asian natives, they have significantly more incidents of homelessness, even than African Americans. So as we start thinking about ways to engage homelessness and what we need to do, we need to think about homelessness in total. Also, when you look at the utilization of resources, we're going to talk to Brittany and we'll cover the fact that there are not enough resources to go around at all. But when we do look at resources, we see that Black people use more than 40% of the shelter space, and that's still not enough. And I want to make sure we understand that it's still not enough. We're not talking about helping people step up their game and live a huge quality of life. I am offended by living in a society where we look at people and say, you don't have enough money, so you don't deserve safe and stable housing. Make sure you understand that is where we live. We live in a place in the midst of incredible wealth where there are tent cities in most urban areas. I'm sorry, not in most. Many of the urban areas don't have tent cities. Why? Because they moved them out because it didn't look good. It didn't fit the brand. We choose money over people, and we've got to stop that. Homelessness is a reflection, it is emblematic, actually, of some of the other disparities in just being Black in America. Damn it! Like, it's hard. And I am concerned that it's about to get even worse because there's a lot of people right now who are housed merely because the eviction moratorium still exists. There are a lot of people who are housed right now specifically because the foreclosure moratorium exists. Do we think that those people who have not been able to pay rent for the last year or two are going to magically have their rent and mortgage payments available to them, available to pay when the moratoriums go? No. If you believe that, I'm just going to call you stupid. And I said what I said. If you believe it, you're stupid. Come at me. I got evidence on my side. And what happens when those, and we know that this will disproportionately impact Black people more than it will any other population. So what do? Well, that's why we have Brittany here. Now, I'm not saying Brittany has all the solutions, but I'm saying that Brittany has been an advocate. Brittany understands the issues, and Brittany has been there to help people. And so she's going to work us through and help us understand how everything is going. Hey, Brittany.
Hey, good morning.
I don't know if I can. Oh, there you go. I was about to say, I don't know if I can hear you. I was about to say this damn technology again, but okay, we good now. Okay. How you doing, Brittany?
I'm doing all right. And yourself?
I'm doing pretty well. Now, I want to make sure, did I oversell the current homeless situation when it comes to Black people, or was I exaggerating? Was it hyperbolic, or was I spot on?
You were spot on.
Okay, so tell us about, well, first, I keep forgetting because I got to be honest, I'm not normally a polite person. So I just want to get to the business. I forget that we should introduce people to people and let them
Right.
know who
I'm
you
the
are.
same
Because I
way.
want let's fix
I just
homelessness.
be
Let's do,
gone.
but
Yeah.
okay, polite. I'm gonna be polite. Brittany, so tell us about yourself and how you got into homeless advocacy.
So, I'm a 30-year-old single mom,
Hmm.
and I have a special needs daughter. She's hearing impaired in both ears. So, that's definitely been a part of, what encourages me to go out and do the things that I do.
Hmm.
I'm an author, entrepreneur, speaker. I started my nonprofit this year. And honestly,
Congratulations.
always had, thank you, a passion for helping people. Like
Hmm.
my grandmother, they would always say, my granny never knew a stranger. Same way, I
Okay.
never knew a stranger because I'm just that kind of person. So, I've just always had this feeling to help and do what I can, when I can, where I can, why I
Mhm.
can. So now that I've been able to actually get my nonprofit up and rolling and really go full throttle, it's been amazing. And even, just when people come out with us to volunteer and stuff today, I was like, oh my God, I didn't know, it would feel this way. Like I gotta come back. And it's
Mm,
crazy. Like you said, money has taken over and people don't value people anymore.
right. Actually,
So
one of the things we talk here about often is that when you meet people, one of the first things is what do you do?
exactly.
And it is this, and for me, while I get it, and don't get it twisted, I do that same thing because it's some of mine is conditioning. Other
Mhm.
parts of mine is just again we talked about me not being a polite person, so that's. But one of the other parts about the way that we engage is that we take credibility, we give people credibility because of their economic potential. Celebrities are amazing, and we do everything they say, but some of them aren't right. Now, don't get it twisted. A lot of them are amazing people. They are talented, but a lot of them are just regular people who just happen to be rich or just happen to be athletic or talented. Um, that doesn't give them greater credibility. But at the same time, I've had conversations with people who were homeless, and it's like, wow, like the perspective on the world
Right.
and understanding, it's been amazing. So talk about how you got involved with supporting homeless policy and advocacy in homeless advocacy.
Well, basically, like I said, with the nonprofit we had just started, the goal is for a youth organization and community outreach. So I
Hmm.
didn't have kids to start. So I'm like, I got to start somewhere. What can I do? Like, what do I
Right.
have control over that I can do? I say, well, you know what? They got all these rules about, trying to feed them and all this kind of stuff. So, hey, they can't, blame me for giving them a sandwich. That ain't, that's not gonna harm them. So I started by making sandwiches and putting little goodie bags together, trying to write little motivational quotes and stuff, and just started out doing that. And then, as I'm out there and talking to them, interacting with them, they are truly amazing people. Like, they're still people. So, like you say, they have stories to tell, and it's
Oh my
crazy
God.
every time. But so then we started adding the hygiene bag. So I'm just like,
Mm.
hey, donate whatever you can, the little stuff, all the little essentials, it matters. They was loving it. Like, okay, now I'm not just getting food, but I'm getting other stuff I need. Then I was like,
Right.
hey, what y'all need? Clothes, blankets. All right, I got you. I'm gonna get on that. So now I'm starting to add clothes and stuff. I got a closet thing full of clothes downstairs. I'm just like, hey, I'm gonna do whatever I can for y'all because at the end of the day, too, I I always try to humble myself, and even when it gets hard, I just thank God for the good, the bad, and everything in between. Because I could be out there, especially
You,
right now. I just quit my job teaching. I'm a single
you,
mom. I
you ain't
got a
lying.
mortgage, so that could be me. But I know
I
that
know.
God put me here for a reason, so I'm doing
I
that.
know a lot of people. When I used to do fundraising for the local United Way, and one of the things I used to remind people when I was going out, and they were like, "Well, why should I give to those people?" And I said, "Let's keep it. Let's keep it." Well, back then I kept it 100, or at least I thought I was. I don't keep it 100 anymore. I keep it 85 because 15% of this stuff y'all don't need to know, and 5% I'm trying to forget myself. But I used to tell them, like, for a lot of us, it is we don't just live paycheck to paycheck. If there is a disruption in paychecks, not that you get fired,
Mhm.
not like
It,
that check that come at the end of the month that you use to pay the bills at the first of the month,
that
if
part.
that check is even short, you might find yourself on the backside of homelessness. And that's
Mhm.
what I think a lot of people don't realize is that you look around in your situation And you don't know what did they say? Thus, but for the grace of God go I. And not that we need to bring it back to a personal perspective, like, oh, I'm gonna help because it can happen to me. But I think that type of way provides this level of empathy. One of the things that you said that I want to commend is that you saw a problem and you didn't get overwhelmed by how big it was. You were like, okay, I can't fix all of homelessness. They
Right.
need a house. I can't get them that. And so what happens for a lot of us, we start looking at like, well, if I can't, what's the sandwich going to do? What's the sandwich going to do? You know what? They still going to be cold, and we let our guilt keep us from doing the right thing. So how did you get beyond that? How did you just decide, like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna get them a sandwich? Like, why not? Why didn't you shut down?
I don't know. It's just I started hustling, so to speak, when I was 15. I got tired of hearing people talk about, oh, well, you can reach your dreams. Just try, just do this. I'm like, okay, but you're not telling us how, especially coming from an African-American culture. We didn't grow up with our uncles and aunties taking us to the office, teaching us all of this. So I'm like, you're not showing me nothing. So I started at 15 trying to figure it out for myself. So 15 years later, it ain't much that can stop me. I'm just going to figure out what I can do and do what I can with what I have. And honestly, I've been on this spiritual journey lately and just really get more into the Bible. And it really helped. I think that helped push me a little bit more because it reassured me that I was doing what God told me to do. I was doing what I had, what I could with what I have. And that's all I got control over. And he going to take care of the rest.
And that kind of that reminds me of that whole serenity prayer part, like, God, give me the wisdom to accept the things that I can't change, the strength to change the things that I can. And no, wait, what was it? Serenity. There it is. I forgot serenity. It's called the serenity prayer, and I forgot that one. Like, that's disrespectful. Like God's gonna be like, this brother right here. Like, that's probably why I didn't finish seminary. That might be it. Like, I couldn't remember all the stuff. It didn't really stick. Maybe that's it. Okay. But one of the things that you mentioned about your engagement, and this is tangentially related to what you said about homelessness, but I really want to pull it out and highlight it. You talked about you had heard a lot of people talking about you can achieve your dreams, you can achieve, but not really what to do. And so you just went to start figuring out on your own. And one of the things that I realized in that statement was that a lot of times we just hear people talk about aspirations and not about details. And so that we get caught in the aspirations because these are our leaders. Oh, if you just try harder, if you just work. I mean, I've tried. Clearly, I've tried, and they don't understand what that means. It's like, well, why don't you just get a job? Why don't you just apply for a job? Like, why? How stupid do you think I am? Do you think that that's not one of the things I've thought through?
Hello. Exactly. And that's why
some of the interventions and some of the assistance that people try to bring becomes offensive.
Yes, absolutely. Like you're talking at me. You're not listening to what I'm telling you. You're trying to tell me something else because you're not hearing me.
Wait. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Oh, yes.
No. Do you need some mental health treatment? Because we got a therapist on Monday because you just said something that sounds crazy.
What?
You said talk to homeless people. What do you mean talk to homeless people? No, you're not supposed to talk to them. When you see homeless people, you're supposed to roll up your windows and do like this, or become so engaged and enthralled in your phone or the conversation you're having that you can look away from
who you meet. Never know who you're gonna meet.
So tell me about some of these mysterious homeless people you've met. And please, for the record, please know that I am speaking purely sarcastically. Some of the salt of the earth I have met have been people who have been unfortunately unhoused. And the other part of it is that we tend to think about homeless people in terms of living on the street. Right. Well, I know people who have had to exchange sexual favors for a place to live. That's still homelessness. Yep. I know people who have had to sell drugs for a place to live. I know people that who have allowed themselves to be beaten to have a place to live. Mm-hmm. Yep. So when we're talking about homelessness, we're not just talking about I'm sorry. I used to work with somebody who was homeless in a good job.
Wow. And it can happen.
And so Exactly. And so, you know, we don't, when we think of homelessness, hey, good morning, Michael. Oh, and apparently I cursed. We there's a tally, and so there's another fine I'm looking at apparently. So I don't even know when it happened there because, but again, this is a really big subject because these are like millions of
Millions.
people have experienced homelessness.
Right. And another thing that also contributed to it, before I forget, I have an older sister who lives in Los Angeles, California, and she
Hmm.
actually used to work with the homeless as well out there. And
Hmm.
we were talking, not too long ago, and she was mentioning something else about how the homeless community had a lawsuit against the city of Los Angeles, and they won because it made so much sense. How can I get off the streets if every time I'm out here, y'all come, like you said, come cleaning up because it don't look good? You throw away my documents, you throw away my paperwork. It was already hell and high water to get it in the first place.
In
Now I
the
gotta figure
first
out how to
place.
get it back. When do you want me to get off the street? You're not helping me help myself. So
Because
that's
I'm
another
sorry,
thing.
wait,
Okay,
wait,
I
wait, wait. Let's because we keep it 85% here. Um, if we're gonna talk about it, let's talk about it. This is not a bug, a problem, an error in the system.
got.
This is not a thing that is going wrong. That this is not working correctly. This is a working. This is working exceptionally. Oh wait, I'm sorry. If you got a kid, let's get the kid on camera. All right, come
Look,
on, come on.
she
You gonna be famous this morning? Come on, baby.
look, my mama just took her.
Oh, okay, I was about to say,
You
come
know?
on, she can be famous. Well, you can be famous today, because but again, that goes to what we talk about with our kids is like, let's see how work actually works. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like,
Exactly.
let's not because most of the time, most of us, the only thing we know about what, hey, how you doing? But most of the things that we learn about work is that work sucks. We hear
Oh,
our parents come home and talk about, oh my God, let me tell you what this stupid person did. And I hate going to work
right.
and da 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 da. We don't get to see, like, she's smiling and having fun. They here talking. Like, that's what work looks like. And so I
Uh-huh.
am grateful. I am grateful. And, I get that this might not have been, you might be involuntarily doing this today because of COVID and stuff like that. But I am grateful for the opportunities for children to see different Black people and Black people doing different things. I mean, one day she's going to be able to talk about I was on the podcast, internet show, whatever, while my mother
Right.
was talking about ending homelessness.
Yeah. And that's my
And I
goal
think
with her too. She gonna be right next to me doing everything. Do what we
that
didn't do.
and that is important because it creates a level of empathy
Mhm.
for them because there are people and it's easy for a lot of us to look at the people outside our windows that we drive by and to realize and to think of them as other.
Right.
Those aren't our people. But have a con and I challenge everybody. If you could just as a personal favor, at least within the next 7 days of you watching this, go someplace and talk to somebody who's homeless.
Yeah. He'll take him
You'd
a
be
blanket.
actually watch this. Even more betterer if you don't know nobody that's homeless. Well, I guarantee you do. And I did say more betterer because it gets better. Because woo, I have clients. And because this is so important, like I have clients who've been building their business, and during parts of that time, they've been homeless. Hell, Robert Kiyosaki, the rich dad, poor dad guy, he and his wife used to live in their car.
Hello. It happens. People forget because it take money to make money. It's a struggle, and then if not everybody understands what you're doing or why you're doing it. So everybody's not always going to support when it's in the hard time, when it's in the rough time, and that's something else. I'm kind of experiencing to a certain extent. Although I've been doing stuff for 15 years, it's really like, hey, this is the time, this is it, and the
Mm-hmm.
help it's tough.
It's thin. It's thin. And
It
you know
is.
what? You know 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 what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? Because this is what we do. And actually, I'm gonna commit Donnie to it too.
Okay.
Oh my God. So this might be another fine coming up later, but I'm gonna do it. So Brittany, we're having a perfect pitch planning program coming up, and it's an opportunity for entrepreneurs in the startup and nascent stages to develop their business acumen, to make sure that they're on point and blah blah blah. Guess what we're gonna do? Guess what we're gonna do, Brittany?
Help us
And it's $199. It's $199 to get in. That's early bird, by the way. It's actually $250. Is yours for free if you want it. You are invited to the session because this is one of the ways that we invest in Black people doing great Black things. You know what I mean? Like, you are in the streets helping the community. How can we not help you? Make sure you hit me up with an email after this, because I'm gonna need to make sure you get your registration and ticket. Because we talk. Everybody talks about investing in the Black community, but this is what that looks like. And again, I'll take the if we gotta take a hit or whatever, we take the hit. But it is too important. This, especially this topic, like you can't build wealth without housing. Mm-hmm. You can't build health without housing. Yeah. There is so much that this is the anchor point for anything that we can do in our community. Hell, when we think about Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, our real estate, our land, Seneca Valley, New York City, all of these things have been us being dispossessed from land, and it stops. Yep. It stops. And I am grateful for the opportunity to help you all do this, because we need more people who are in the streets and really doing the damn thing. And well, I'll talk to Donnie after we get this out, because I'm comfortable. Like, because after you said, you're like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't even talk to nobody about this first. But it's not. It's good. So honestly, you know what? If I got to pick up the tab myself, I will. That's fine. But because we need to do more of this. We do. So
that means a lot. Trust me.
Cool. I mean, yeah. We how can you out here getting it done? How can we not support? Right. So tell us. Let's shift a little bit, because I want you to tell us about the people you've met. Because again, a lot of us may not know we know homeless people, or we may not have had the comfort or the opportunity to go out and talk to people. Tell us about the people you've met.
I will never forget the first time we went. It was maybe about June or July of last year. And, we're just out passing out the stuff, meeting some of the people. One group we got to, the man was out there barbecuing. Baby, and it smelled so good. They had, it was their whole little group. The other friends was sitting on the sideline waiting. They was cleaning up their little spot and stuff. And it was just like, wow. We started talking to the guy. He was like, yeah, we worked together. We all chipped in and da-da-da. So I'm cooking it up. And, shoot, I wasn't sitting back and wait for a plate. But,
yeah.
It was so amazing to meet him first, because it was like, okay, I just love the spirit that you have, because although you're in this situation, you're making the best out of it. They have their little groups and communities and stuff. Like, I didn't even seen them with they tents locked up and stuff. And it's so amazing, because although they are where they are, they still fight for each other. It's another group that lives under a bridge downtown. One of the people has a car. They all help each other and, do what they gotta do. They share that balance and that burden. Even though he's the one who has the car, he right out there with his people. He got his pad next to the car. They do what they got to do and help each other.
I'm sorry. I apologize. You described the type of community that we talk about all the time in the Black community. Is it, and it's making me wonder, like, the community that we came from, like, this tight knit has always been in the American context about our oppression. Like, when we couldn't get into the schools that they had, we worked closer together with each other to create our own. And it sounds like when it's time for us to count on each other, we come through. That's amazing. Tell me more. Like, this is.
I'm telling you, but the sad part though is that it's there and not, like you said, with us. You would think, and that's one of my other motivations that really just drives is I want that back. I want that unity and community. I continuously, when I was teaching, I would talk to my coworkers, like, how do we go from bus boycotts where we're sacrificing for each other to now you won't even give me a hand?
You fell for it. Ding, 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 ding. So how do we move? You asked one of the magic questions. How do we move? Let me tell you, because see, okay, trigger warning. There's certain things I have opinions on, and that's one of them. How we got here is one of them. And let me tell you what I think. What it is what we were just talking about. Our oppression has been the tool that has kept us together. People talk often about the white man's ice being colder. The problem that when people talk about that, they don't understand that that is a real thing. Let me tell you how it happened. When back in the day, when refrigerators first came out, there was no Freon. There was blocks of ice that a person walked around and dropped off. But guess what would happen? When they would bring the ice from the ice house, they would stop by the white people's house first. And so what happens is that when that block of ice went into the freezer or into the refrigerator, the white people's refrigerator stayed cold for 7 days. But by the time the blocks got to the black neighborhoods, where then they put them in, they had melted down a little bit. And so they only lasted for maybe 5 days. So even the concept of, they talk about how black people chase the white man stuff because the white man's ice is colder. Well, no, that's true. It's anchored in the realities that we live in. And that type of repression brought us together. The same way that you're talking about the communities that have been created in these spaces where most of us just look away from them and try and just pray that one day that is not our situation. They are freezing cold, but they are warmer and loved than many of us find ourselves.
Right.
And that is the part that I find amazing. And I think that's why we got in. Once we're in our oppression, and when you are oppressed, you look on the outside and think, if I could just get that, I'd be okay. But what happens is when you get it, you don't, because that's never been yours, you don't understand the cost of it. Because the system will give you all of the rewards you want if you give it your soul. That's all it requires is your soul. Is your commitment to profess capitalism and all of its things for you to get Gucci belts and Louis Vuitton belts and to look past the person sitting out there a little bit hungry.
And that's why what you just did really touched me, because it's so many of us, they talk a good game, but when you reach out, when you contact, it is nothing in return. So it's like, okay, but you made it out. When you talk about you wanted to help your people, but you're not helping your people. So I really I'm not, against all celebrities, because of course everybody ain't the same, but I'm just not one to say, oh, no, because I want you to put your money where your mouth is. If you ain't,
literally put your money where your mouth is.
Literally put it where it is, because other than that, we ain't got nothing to talk about.
Because intentions are good. And hearts and minds are important, and I appreciate people who are allies and people who want to help, no matter how little they do. However, because there's a continuum, and so like you know what? I know you ain't come to talk about this today, but let's talk about it. There's a continuum, because there are people who go out and they help people just for clout. Like they are the ones who like do the videos about all day, but
during the holiday season.
Absolutely. But what I have also learned that there is a place for that, because what I have found, helping self, absolutely. What I have found is that some of the people who do this, they inspire other people by accident. So what happens, and I've seen this happen. So there was this one person, I was talking to a friend of mine about something about, it was a business topic. Oh, the Landis piece, this piece about rent to own homes or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And they were talking about how now they weren't really comfortable with them before, but because I think it was like Will Smith and Jay-Z invested in it, now it was a good idea. Now, don't get it twisted. Landis offers, from what I've seen so far, a good product and things like that. But it was the fact that somebody else's name was attached to it that even got their attention in the first place. Right. Same thing with people going out. I have a friend. We have friends that go out under the bridge. They used to do this called Selfless Saturdays or whatever. And they would take pictures. But here's the thing. And somebody was like, yo, you taking pictures? It's like, but that inspired other people. It's like, oh my God, I want to do that. So there's a place along the entire continuum.
Yeah, everybody got a part to play.
Right. But understanding, how do we get involved? Like, what if I want to deal with homelessness? And I think even things like I just did, like there are ways to get involved that have nothing to do with me talking or dealing with homeless people directly.
Absolutely.
Supporting organizations that help. So how can people? Because we've been saying.
Oh yes. Well.
I'm sorry. Are we okay? Are we okay?
Oh
I don't know
yes.
what's going on. I don't.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm a black man living in America. Strange noises just going off. Oh no. You got a lot going on. You make it like I might
Look,
have to.
life of a single mama trying to figure it out. Bear
But
with me.
so okay. So you keep bringing us to new topics. Oh my God, because
We'll come back to that part. But yes,
okay.
ways that can help.
Whew, I gotta write a whole bunch of stuff down. Okay,
Definitely.
okay, yeah.
We have a Givelify. We also have Cash App, where they can donate that way. So the Cash App is Help NPO 20.
You better stop. You better go ahead and type it into the
Oh
comments so I
yeah,
can post it on here. Yeah, we're gonna
absolutely.
make sure people can get it because we need to support organizations that are doing this type of work in the community. And I'm looking forward to work. I'm sorry. Ooh, sorry. I'm just excited making sure people understand they need to come through and support. They need to make sure that we support these organizations that are doing the damn thing in the community. Sorry.
Absolutely, and not just financially. If it's clothes, we need clothes of all ages and all sizes, including shoes, hats, hygiene products that people can donate, clothing, blankets, all of that stuff. It don't always have to be financial, and even if you just come out to volunteer, we need people to help pass the stuff out too. There are different levels wherever you feel
All
comfortable.
right. So let's be honest. Let's be honest. Is there a place that there's some of us who like? I mean, I want to help them. I don't
Uh,
necessarily want to be around them. Like that's how I feel about kids. Like I love people who work with kids, but I don't actually want to work with them directly. Kids are
yeah, they
disgusting,
something
gross,
else.
and they move too randomly. I mean, I have a couple, and that's how come I know them because I love them, notwithstanding the fact that they are kids. Um, so what about for those of us who are like, I'm not necessarily sure I'm just ready to go outside and just talk to people because, and part of it is my discomfort, like to go and look at somebody and to give them these poultry, from my opinion, these poultry things as I'm wrapped up in my coat because it's cold and realize
Right.
I gotta go home to my warm house and my warm car. Like for some of us, that's the reason we don't volunteer because like it feels a little like you start looking around and like I suck. Like I got all this space. Like I need to. I hate my. And so in an effort to keep from feeling bad about ourselves, we're like, oh, it's them. But we want to help them. So how can we help them in volunteering? Because you already told us I could donate some stuff to you. Okay, that's cool. I get that. But like, is there stuff that I can volunteer with without actually like talking to people?
Absolutely. You can volunteer to help put bags and stuff together because we
Okay.
do. That's another one, having to put the sandwiches and the whole goodie bags together, the hygiene bags, going separating the clothes and stuff, so it's easier when we do go out there to kind of hey, this is all the women's, the men's, have it organized and structured. So yes, I'll take help at every level, wherever
So
they come.
hey, is there something small that we can do? Like whenever we're joining your Facebook pages and groups and stuff like that, and liking and subscribing to your posts
Yep.
and stuff like
Subscribe,
that.
post, spread the word, post the flyers, repost, all of that.
So
Everything counts.
make sure you all understand. If you see some Black people out there doing some stuff that is important and that is meaningful, go on their social media site, click a like every post they got. Make sure you share it. Make sure you tag people in it because the algorithms don't like us. Let's not get it twisted. The algorithm isn't designed to help nobody. The algorithm is designed to make the people who got the algorithm money. Again, not knocking them because I'm writing my own algorithm. I'm trying to get paid too. But we need to recognize that it is up to us to save our community.
Exactly.
We need to support people like Brittany in the community, making sure that people are safe and are healthy. Because I was walking to the car a few days ago, and I gotta be honest, I sat down. Once I got in the car, I sat down and I teared up a little bit because in the one block walk to my car, it was freezing. My toes were cold by the time I got to my car, and I was just thinking, like, there are people who are outside right now.
Exactly.
Who spent the night out in there. And I had the privilege of leaving my warm house, walking for, 100 yards or so, and my toes were cold, and I was getting ready to complain about that.
Exactly. Imagine how they feel.
And I looked at the show schedule, and I remembered you were coming on, and I was like, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because this is something we need to talk about, and we need to talk about it in a very serious way.
Yes. And then the next part of what I'm actually working on this year to add to the program is trying to get a mobile shower truck. So anybody want to
no. Stop. Hey, I don't know if she's listening. I know she looks at the recordings. Shannon Epps. She is Shannon Epps. Make sure, again, when we talk, make sure you holler at me about Shannon Epps. She's been doing something very similar, and what she has been looking to do is to get a truck that a mobile truck that helps people wash their clothes.
Look at that. They can wash their butt and go wash their clothes.
So and honestly, it may be an opportunity for larger collaborations and stuff like that. So absolutely. And by the way, if you need, we're gonna hook you up. If you need some help with fund management or fundraising,
yes.
Man, you gotta put on my man. So I can help you with the grant writing. We have some classes like that. Again, now that one I'll have to talk to Donnie about before I just go ahead and give stuff away on that one.
But just fly out there. You about to make me come to Baltimore for about a week or two and put in some work because I'm ready. Do you hear me?
Because
I'm so ready.
my one of my great friends, we've been friends since '99. His name is Chris Maynard. He works for the Turk House in Baltimore. He does an amazing job with fund development, philanthropy, planned giving, especially on some planned giving stuff. You have a really great opportunity for that. And then there's some other things that, it sounds a little morose at times, but there have been some organizations where people get a life insurance policy put on themselves. And so their contribution is just the payment of that premium. And so that might be $17 a month for them, or $20 a month for them. But when they croak, and let's not get it twisted, we all are going to die. I'm not sure if anybody told you all that. That's the thing that's going to happen. But when you do, they are able to leave the proceeds of this insurance policy to the nonprofit organization. So there's a lot of different ways to make it happen and make it pop. Oh, hey, welcome to the grinding game. This is what we do. BlackUSA.news. We need to make sure, but this is the type of information we need to share. Exactly. Because this is what the white boys have been doing for years.
Exactly. Looking out for them.
Yeah. And figure out, Erica's inviting you over to Baltimore. I'm saying, come on through. We make a problem here. And we appreciate the opportunity to work with people throughout the diaspora, because this is not a Baltimore issue. This is not an LA issue. This is not a Southern issue. This is a issue. And I wanted to lead off with, I'm gonna give you the last bunch of minutes to just tell them whatever you want them to know. Let me not pretend I'm not going to interrupt, because I do that. It's my show. I can do it. But one of the things I wanted to lead off with is making sure that we understand that homelessness, while it disproportionately impacts Black people aren't the only ones disproportionately impacted.
Right.
Hispanics, Native Americans, especially Native Americans. I mean, come on, like, you talk about some most disrespectful shit ever. Like, we eat your house and tell you ain't got a place to live. You got to sleep on the floor in your house.
That's crazy. The world we live in.
Yeah. Especially, and I can't imagine what it's like to be a Native American and look at Manhattan. Interrupting is so fun. So I do interrupt, but so I had to read it just to make sure I understood what she was talking about. Whatever. So, Brittany, let's give you like 3 minutes to tell us what we can do to end homelessness. Like what? Because I can do 3 minutes. I can do 3 minutes of not talking. Yeah. That should be fun. No, maybe 3 minutes, 2.5. Okay. No, I can do 3. Okay. 3 minutes in, Brittany, tell us what we can do to impact and affect homelessness.
Well, definitely for starters, everything counts. It's not always just about the funds. It's about what you're doing with the funds. Again, donating the food, the clothes, the hygiene products, those little things. Sometimes you may be the difference in The person could have the clothes, but they don't feel like they're clean or they're prepared to go to this job or to this interview or try to, talk to someone. We want to feel like humans. They want to feel like humans. Just that simple, helping them to feel like a real person, and then even those that do have their paperwork and their documents, if you do know someone trying to get off of the streets, figure out what it is that they need. You may not be able to help them, but maybe you know somebody else that can help them, or know a program or whatever the case may be. Literally every little thing counts. Get out of the mentality of, oh, I can't, or but I don't, or what if. And what can you do? What do you have control over? And do that. That's what's going to make the biggest difference. No excuses, actions.
Wow. Okay. We're gonna have to clip that one out and let people know what they can do.
It does not require a disaster. Yes, ma'am, Miss Erica. It does not. It is not only a holiday season to come out. They're out there all.
Why you gonna go step on people's toes? Why you gonna go step on people's toes?
Sorry, that bothered me when I was out there. And of course, I ain't perfect. I just started. I mean, I've always done what I could, but I just started with a nonprofit. But it irritated me to see all these people out here. And I'm like, bro, I've been out here month after month.
Wait. So what pushback I will give you, we don't know if that's their starting point. So that could be the whole. So yeah, again, and the other part is
perfect. But I'm just like,
the other part is that some of these clout chasers, they actually inspire real people. So it might be like, oh, I didn't even think about going to under the bridge to help somebody, but I saw influencer number one, macchiato and out there. But then it's like, then it hits me, and it's like, oh, you know what? I could do that too. So I'm saying, I get it, because it really feels offensive when you've been in the trenches. Like, yo, I done gave up literally blood, sweat, and tears. And y'all
I'm gonna put them to work.
I'm sorry, they come out dressed nice, like, here you go. Oh, look at me. And right. You dusted on one of your good bags to come out here to give it to one person to take your picture so you can get 500 likes. Sandwiches for 500 days.
Yes. But like you say, they got their part. And I'm just gonna add to it. And when I see them, hey, you got a card, or hey, here's my card, and we can boom. I'm gonna make you continue what you're doing.
And that's it, but it also is really difficult to watch. Realize like you ain't even here for the right reasons. Actually, it's a lot of times like when I used to work in the school system and see these white teachers who came from like Idaho and blah, and they've seen a couple movies, and they know that all these Black kids really need is some stern loving and just people to care about them in a way they've never been cared about before. And it's like, hey, yo, fuck you. Like, because I've had to come up with this because, you can't really, apparently I get fined whenever I curse on here. So I had to come up with some new stuff. So it's fuck you. It's kind of like thank you, because it's a side-handed compliment. It's like a side-handed effort. Like,
thank you for the effort, but you really don't.
But fuck you. Like, for real? Like, thank you, but fuck you. Like, that we got to put that together, because even, and I ain't gonna front, sometimes I'm that person. Sometimes I'm the person, I come to the table with my preconceived notions of how certain people will be and how they are and stuff like that. And then one of the great parts about talking to people is that you get checked. They recalibrate your expectations of what those people are.
Right.
And so I love the fact that we get to do that on this show, that we demystify those people. And anybody who wants to be a better ally, first place to start is just listen to the people that you're trying to help. Their genius is amazing.
Absolutely. You never know, they might help you in return.
Not even. Even some little stuff. Watch this. I had a brother one time, because I give change whenever I could or whatever. I had a brother come out one time. I was like, "Hey, yo, the meter maid was about to put a ticket on your car. I gave you a quarter. I put a quarter in there for you.
Appreciate you, big homie."
Yo, I know I hadn't given him $32 worth of stuff, but he saved me $32 right there.
Exactly.
And I hate that I have to put it in terms of how we can benefit from it, but we're Americans. Let's not front that that's not something that we need to have a conversation about. But that's a separate one. That's the whole 2 hours. That's a special.
Yeah, we have to be back.
And actually, so okay, you the first person that actually. So this way, I get to commit to it again. Because so one of the things that I'm interested in BlackUSA.news doing is doing some more special editions where we have panel discussions on serious topics outside the course of the show. We could start with homelessness, but okay, so okay, it's getting crazy. It's getting crazy. So,
yeah, I'm more to talk about. So yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, it's I did. I'm gonna get a whole other fine because we went over an hour. Damn it.
We sorry. It was juicy.
I'm not sorry. I gotta be honest. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. I had a good conversation. And by the way, people need to understand about homelessness and what we can do, and that we can do something to end it. Anything you can do. A quarter, a dollar, a sandwich.
There's a lot of kids out there too.
Oh, no. Don't do that. Don't do that. We're already over the hour. We start talking about childhood homelessness. It's because you ain't slick. We go. All right. Okay. Who's on tonight? I gotta find out who's on what show tonight, because I think I need to be on somebody else's show tonight because I need to have more conversations about this. They're probably not even gonna be talking about homelessness, but I'm gonna jump on the show and be like, look, I don't know what y'all talking about tonight, but there's some homeless shit we need to talk about because I had some shit on my shoulder. Oh wow, I did it twice.
Okay. I ain't
I'm about to get some
ish.
Yeah, some ish. There you go. Yeah, ish. I don't even understand why they hired me, because I'm like, y'all knew what y'all getting, but I complain about being over the segment. I keep talking. Okay, all right, okay. Thank you so much. This has been a great conversation. I am so grateful for you to coming through. Make sure send me an email after this so we can get you registered for all the stuff, so we can get you taken care of. And I'll talk to Donnie about paying for it.
What HELP stands for, healing each other.
Oh, okay, all right. So I'm gonna need you to go ahead and shoot me out that logo too. Look, you disrespectful. You disrespectful. I ain't even had the tools and resources necessary to hype you up enough. That's okay.
I got you. I'm gonna see you a whole shirt. I got you.
Oh my God. Okay, all right. Let's make it happen. Brittany, thank you so much.
Thank you. This is
and I'm looking forward to talking to you soon.
Absolutely. Have a great rest of the day.
Will do. Bye. Oh man, another amazing show. I've had a great time and learned a lot about how to get engaged. My takeaways from the show is, let's start talking to people. Homeless people are people. They're people. And there's some of them are people. You can't end homelessness by yourself, but you can do something. Whether it's make a sandwich, whether it's give $1, or whether support organizations that are designed and developed to end homelessness. You can do it. I feel fulfilled, feel good. This was a good day. I will see you all on Monday, Mental Health Monday, being Black at Work, or Working While Black, Part 2. God, I love you guys. We'll be Black on Monday.